You walk into a professional event, you've got your name tag firmly slapped onto your lapel, a, moderately priced beverage in your hand.
Right, the classic sparkling water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And across the room, you see this circle of people laughing. They look totally comfortable.
They look like they belong there.
Yeah. And as you stand there, this immediate, terrifying thought flashes through your mind. What do I actually say?
Oh, it is the worst feeling.
It really is. So, in today's deep dive on the English Edge, we are giving you the exact word-for-word toolkit to not just survive that moment, but to actually own the room.
Yeah, no more hiding by the snack table pretending to answer emails. We've all been there.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think we need to acknowledge just how hard this is, especially for our listeners who are navigating these events in English as a second language.
Oh, absolutely. The cognitive load is massive. I mean, you're facing a triple challenge, really. You're trying to manage your own social anxiety. You're monitoring your vocabulary and grammar.
Right, making sure you don't say the wrong word.
Exactly. And on top of all that, you're actively trying to forge a genuine human connection. Your brain is essentially running 3 hydrating apps all at once.
Which explains why we just freeze up. Like, we want a connection, but the moment we initiate contact, anxiety takes the wheel.
And we end up sounding like a walking resume.
Yes. Hi, I am John. I am a synergy coordinator. It's just so stiff.
It's robotic. And that is exactly why having a preset architecture for your introduction is an absolute lifesaver. It reduces that cognitive load so your brain can actually focus on the person standing in front of you.
Okay, let's unpack this. What is the structure for that initial, say, 30-second introduction?
It's remarkably simple, actually. It's who you are plus what you do plus one interesting detail.
Who you are, what you do, one interesting detail. Okay, let's put that into practice. Imagine someone named Dana.
Okay, Dana.
Dana doesn't just walk up and say, I work in finance.
Yeah.
Because that gives the other person absolutely nothing to work
No,
with.
it's a dead end.
Right. Instead, she uses the formula. She says, hi, I'm Dana. I'm a product manager at a fintech startup. We focus on payment solutions for small businesses.
That is so much better.
Or let's say, Marcus. He says, hi, I'm Marcus. I'm in marketing, specifically content strategy. I help B2B companies actually get people to read their stuff.
Oh, I love that one. The genius of Marcus's introduction is that interesting detail at the end.
The part about getting people to read their stuff?
Yeah, because saying I do marketing is just, well, it's boring. But saying you help companies actually get people to read their stuff, it's sticky, it's a little informal, it highlights a universal pain point, and it practically begs the other person to ask a follow-up.
Like, oh, wait, how do you do that?
Exactly. It completely breaks the stiff corporate pattern.
Okay, but I have to play devil's advocate here. Even with a great intro like that, I've noticed a huge flaw at these events.
Uh-oh. What is it?
Well, I've been on the receiving end where someone delivers this beautifully crafted, elevator pitch.
Right, an elevator pitch being that brief, compelling self-intro.
Exactly. They deliver the elevator pitch, and they just stop talking and scare at me.
Oh, the hanging silence.
It is agonizing.
Yeah.
I always think of a good introduction like a game of tennis. If I serve the ball over the net by introducing myself, and then I just stand there holding my racket,
The game stops.
the game stops.
Yeah. That brings us to the absolute golden rule of the initial approach. You must end with a question.
Always end with a question.
Yes. Even something as simple as, what do you do? Or, are you in marketing too?
Because if you don't,
If you don't, you are placing the entire psychological burden of keeping the interaction alive onto a total stranger.
oh, wow, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, by asking a targeted question, you hand them a clear script to follow. You relieve them of the pressure to be spontaneous.
Okay, that makes total sense. So we have the perfect 30-second introduction mapped out,
Yeah.
but that assumes you actually have someone standing in front of you.
Right.
What if you don't know anyone? Like, you just walked in. You need an entry point before you can even use the intro.
You need to ignite the conversation from scratch. And the easiest, lowest stakes way to do this is by using an observation opener.
An observation opener, so just pointing out something in the room.
Exactly. You don't need any prior knowledge about the person. You just leverage the shared environment.
Like, first time for me, have you been here before?
Perfect. Or commenting on the venue or the turnout. Wow, great turnout. Do you know how many people they expected?
It's so simple, but it works.
It works because it signals safety. You're effectively saying, hey, I'm observant, I see the same world you do, and I'm friendly.
And it builds rapport.
Yes, rapport, that
Yeah.
comfortable, harmonious connection. Now, if you want something a bit more substantial, you move to mutual context openers.
Okay, what's an example of that?
This assumes you both share a specific professional connection to the event itself. So, say you're at a conference, you might bump into someone and ask, "Did you catch the keynote on AI and SEO earlier?"
Oh, I like that. What did you think of that wild prediction about search rankings?
Exactly. You skip the small talk and jump right into a shared professional interest.
And what if there hasn't been a keynote yet?
Then you fall back on generic, safe openers. Things like, "Long day. Where you coming from?"
They feel a little cliche, maybe.
A little, yeah. But they function perfectly well to break the ice. The underlying mechanism here isn't to extract, profound information.
It's just to get talking.
Right. It's entirely about establishing a baseline of comfort, lowering the friction so that when you do introduce yourself, they're primed to receive it well.
Okay, so the ice is broken, you've delivered your intro, the tennis ball is going back and forth, but then a new anxiety unlocks.
Of course it does.
How do you keep the conversation from just flatlining after 2 minutes?
This is where we bring in a classic professional framework, the FORD method. FORD.
The FORD method. Let's break that acronym down. The F stands for family.
Right. Though, obviously, in a professional setting, you want to keep this super light.
Yeah, you aren't asking for, like, childhood trauma or a family tree.
No, it's more along the lines of, are you from here originally, or did you have to travel far to get to the conference?
Keep it breezy. Okay, the O is occupation.
Exactly. What kind of projects are you working on right now? Or what's the biggest challenge your team is facing this quarter?
And the R is recreation. Do you get to many of these events? Or maybe, what do you do when you aren't putting out fires at work?
Yeah, find out what they do for fun. And finally, the D stands for dreams or direction.
Dreams. Like, what are you most excited about in your field right now?
Yes, I actually think the D is the most powerful one.
Really? Why is that?
Because when you ask someone about their occupation, you're asking about their daily grind. It's transactional. But when you ask what they're excited about, you tap into their passion.
People love talking about their passions.
They do. It shifts the conversation from just a mundane exchange of facts to, a shared vision of the future.
Okay, wait, let me stop you there. I have a concern.
Sure, what is it?
If I'm just standing by the coffee table, firing off these FORD questions, where are you from? What are you working on? What do you do for fun? What are your dreams?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Aren't I going to sound less like a colleague and more like a detective? It feels incredibly unnatural.
You're totally right. And that is the ultimate trap of using frameworks too rigidly. The FORD method collapses entirely if you don't pair it with active listening.
Okay, so how do we fix it?
You use what's called the add plus ask rule.
Add plus ask. So sharing something of my own.
Precisely. You should never let a conversation hit a wall by just answering a question with a bare statement, and you shouldn't just rapid-fire questions without sharing anything yourself.
Right, it's a dialogue, not an interrogation.
Exactly. You must add a piece of information and then ask a follow-up question based on what they just said.
Let's role play that really quickly. Let's say I ask you the occupation question. So what kind of projects are you working on right now?
Well, my team is currently overhauling our entire back-end database. It's been a massive headache.
Now, the bad interrogation response for me would be to just move to the next FORD letter. Like, cool, do you have any hobbies?
Which is terrible. It shows you weren't listening at all.
Exactly. So instead, I use the add plus ask rule. I say, oh, wow, a back-end overhaul. We actually went through something similar last year, and it took twice as long as projected. What's been the biggest roadblock for your team?
And just like that.
Yeah.
You validated my struggle, you added your own relevant experience, and you asked a targeted follow-up.
It goes one layer deeper.
Right. You're showing genuine curiosity.
Okay, so the conversation is flowing, we're building rapport. But let's be real. Even the greatest conversation eventually runs its course.
Yes, it does.
It's been 15 minutes. You're at a networking event to meet multiple people. You don't want to monopolize all of their time.
Right. Monopolize, meaning you don't want to dominate their attention all night.
Exactly. And you don't want to be trapped yourself either.
Ah, the graceful exit. This is undeniably the hardest part of networking. I mean, we really need to spend some extra time on this.
It really is where people fail.
Oh, completely. People either stay way too long out of politeness, letting the energy just drain out of the interaction.
Or they panic and leave so abruptly that it ruins the whole foundation they just built. So we have to pivot, exchange contacts, and escape. Let's start with the pivot.
Right. Before you walk away, you want to secure the connection.
You can use a smooth transition phrase, like, I'd love to stay in touch. Would you mind if I connected with you on LinkedIn?
Or the classic card exchange. Let me get your contact info. I'll look you up after tonight.
Okay, the pivot is straightforward, but the physical exit, that's where the psychology gets delicate.
It does. And the reason we struggle to exit is that walking away feels like a micro rejection.
Like we're saying, I'm tired of you.
Exactly. We don't want to offend them. So to bypass this, you need an exit strategy that leverages a third-party obligation.
So it's not about them, it's about something else you have to do.
Precisely. There are 4 incredibly practical ways to do this.
Let's hear them.
The first is the specific person exit. You say, it's been really great talking to you. I'm actually going to go say hi to Sarah before she leaves.
Oh, that works flawlessly. It provides a concrete reason for ending the chat that has nothing to do with the person you're talking to.
Right. You aren't rejecting them. You're fulfilling a social duty elsewhere.
Okay, what's the second one?
The second is the food or drink exit, but it requires a twist.
A twist.
Yeah, you can't just say, I'm going to get food, because that just sounds like you prefer a stale cracker over their company.
Good point.
You have to combine it with the pivot. You say, I need to grab another drink, but I'd love to keep this conversation going later. Can I connect with you on LinkedIn?
It softens the exit beautifully.
Okay.
Third strategy.
The third is the generous release. This is where you frame the exit as a favor to them.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
You say, I don't want to take up your whole evening. Let me let you mingle, but it was great meeting you.
And mingle just means moving around to talk to multiple people.
Exactly. You're acknowledging that they are there to network too. You're giving them their freedom back.
And the fourth strategy.
The find my colleague exit. I should probably go track down the person I came with, but this was a wonderful conversation.
All 4 of those are decisive, polite, and they depersonalize the departure.
They do. But we also have to talk about the cardinal sins of exiting.
The absolute do-nots.
Yes. Number 1, the ghosting maneuver. Do not just disappear.
Oh, the Irish goodbye.
Yes. When social anxiety spikes, the temptation to just slip away to the restroom and never return is so strong.
But it leaves a terrible impression. It completely erases the trust you just built.
It really does. Number 2, making fake promises. Don't throw out a frantic, we should definitely meet up for coffee next week, if you have absolutely zero intention of doing that.
It just creates a weird obligation hanging in the air.
Exactly. And then there's the ultimate mistake, the phrase that slips out of our mouths constantly, but must be avoided at all costs.
Which is?
Saying, well, I'll let you go.
Oh, wait, I hear this all the time. I say this all the time. Why is that so destructive?
Because it is fundamentally dishonest. And it forces a bizarre awkwardness onto the other person.
How so?
When you say, I'll let you go, what you're really thinking is, I want to go. But by phrasing it as a favor to them, you are shifting the responsibility of ending the conversation onto their shoulders.
Oh, I see.
You force them to either agree, like, yes, please let me go, which makes them sound rude, or they have to protest, oh no, I'm not in a rush, which just drags the conversation out further.
It defeats the whole purpose of exiting.
Exactly. A graceful exit requires you to take ownership of your own departure.
So just say, it was great talking to you. I'm going to grab a refill.
Done. Clean.
Clean. Okay, so let's look at the big picture. You've successfully navigated the room. You used your opener, delivered your elevator pitch, FORD'd your way through a great chat, and took ownership of your graceful exit.
Success, right?
Well, only if you actually want all that effort to evaporate by Tuesday.
Oh.
The event doesn't end when you walk out the door. If you don't follow up, the networking was purely recreational.
That's a great way to put it. You have to follow up.
And there's a strict timeline for this, the 24-hour follow-up. You have to strike while the memory is fresh, before the weekend wipes the slate clean.
Whether it's a LinkedIn message or an email, the template is straightforward. Hi, name. Great meeting you last night at the summit. I'd love to stay connected.
But there's a massive trap here. If you send that exact generic message, you have failed.
Yes. The golden rule of the follow-up is that you absolutely must reference something specific from your conversation.
Right. This is where everything ties together.
Remember earlier when you discussed the keynote on AI? Or when they told you about the roadblock in their database? Your follow-up message is where that active listening pays off.
You're right. I really enjoyed our conversation about the challenges with database integration.
Or, even better, you link an article relevant to their problem. Hey, saw this piece on mobile backend optimization this morning and thought of our chat last night.
That is so powerful. Because a generic message looks automated. A specific message proves that they were seen, heard, and remembered.
It proves the interaction actually mattered to you.
Okay, I think we need to actually act this out. Start to finish, let's do a full sample dialogue.
Oh, a full role play. I love it. Let's do it.
Okay, setting the scene. We are at a marketing conference. We're standing near the catering table. I'll approach you.
Sounds good. I'm just standing here with my sparkling water.
Wow, the catering line is moving slow today, huh? Great turnout, though. Do you know how many people they expected?
I heard around 200. It's definitely packed.
It really is. I'm glad I got here early. I'm Alex, by the way. I'm a content strategist at TechFlow. We help B2B brands scale their blogs.
Oh, nice to meet you, Alex. I'm Jamie.
Great to meet you, Jamie. What kind of marketing do you focus on?
I'm a product manager, actually, at a fintech startup. We focus on payment solutions for freelancers.
Oh, interesting. Fintech is moving so fast right now. What's the biggest challenge your team is facing with freelance payments?
Well, honestly, it's cross-border fees. It's a massive headache trying to keep costs down for international users.
Cross-border fees, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of international content syndication, and the payment logistics are always a nightmare.
Oh.
Are you guys building a custom solution or partnering with someone?
We're trying to build custom, but it's taking way longer than we thought.
I can imagine. Well, hey, I need to go grab a coffee before the next session starts, but I'd love to hear more about how you solved that fee issue. Can I connect with you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, absolutely. Just search Jamie Smith at FinTech Solutions.
Perfect. I'll send you an invite. It was really great meeting you, Jamie.
You too, Alex.
And scene.
That felt so natural.
It did. We used the observation opener, went into the 30-second intro with a question, used the add plus ask rule for FORD, and then used the food and drink exit combined with the pivot.
It covers all the bases without feeling forced.
Exactly. Before we wrap up, let's just quickly review the core vocabulary we focused on today. First, we had elevator pitch.
Right. That's your brief 30 to 60 second compelling self-introduction.
Then rapport.
Building rapport means creating a comfortable, harmonious relationship or connection with someone.
We talked about not wanting to monopolize someone's time,
Meaning you don't want to dominate their attention or keep them from talking to others.
which leads to mingle.
To mingle is to move around a room and talk to multiple different people at a social event.
And finally, the follow-up.
Sending that message within 24 hours to secure the connection you just made.
Perfect. We've covered a massive amount of ground today. We took that terrifying moment of standing alone in a crowded room and we broke it down into an actionable toolkit.
It really is a comprehensive guide for in-person connection. But, as we wrap up, we have to acknowledge how our professional environments are shifting.
Which raises an incredibly important question to leave you with. If we've just spent all this time mastering the physical, graceful exits of a ballroom networking event, how do we adapt these deeply human frameworks for the digital age?
That's a great point. What does mingling look like when your networking event is a Zoom grid with 40 tiny squares? How do you smoothly exit a breakout room?
The medium is changing, but the human need to feel heard and validated remains exactly the same.
So true. The professionals who can translate the empathy of the FORD method into a virtual space will be the ones who truly stand out.
Definitely something to mull over before your next virtual mixer. But I want to turn it over to you, the listener. What is the hardest part of networking for you? Is it the intro, the conversation, or the exit?
It's different for everyone.
It really is. But until next time, when you walk into that physical room, put on that name tag, and look at that circle of laughing people, remember, you have the exact words you need. You're ready to hit the tennis ball over the net. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us on the English Edge. Catch you next time.